Hi everyone, today I will be presenting my microscale analysis of the temperature and the Canterbury Velodrome along the Cooks River, focusing on one key question: what kind of public life exists here and what is missing? Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to elders past and present, and recognize their strong connection to the land, waters, and culture along the Cooks River. This slide shows the site's history through 6 phases. We start with natural landscapes, wetlands, and farmlands. Later, an industrial corridor reshaped the land. Densification reduced the green space and canalized the river. Post-war suburbs straightened the water course further. Today, a mixed pattern is emerging: dense housing, transport networks, and a slowly reconnecting green-blue corridor. Recently, parts of the old industrial land have been renewed into public spaces, linking housing, parks, and a partly re-naturalized waterfront. This evolution helps explain the public life we see today. My analysis is guided by one question: what public life is missing? To explore this, I draw on 3 lenses: Gale and Carmona's work on activity types, necessary, optional, and social; Helios' space syntax, how spatial layout shapes movement; urban morphology, urban green, frontages, and interfaces. My main argument is public life appears when movement, programs, and interfaces overlap. Here, movement is strong, programs exist, but interfaces are weak. Let's look at the natural setting. The Cooks River offers a lively recreational edge for kayaking and walking, but at a microscale, the riverfront lacks platforms, seating, and places for people to stop or gather. The path is continuous, but limited access points, very little seating, and few shaded areas mean people mainly pass through. They don't stay. The site does support biodiversity: rainbow lorikeets, ibis, and native riparian plants. There is interpretive signage, but this ecological richness stays close to the water and does not extend into the velodrome area. For placemaking, there are pavilions, status, and sun makers, but they are scattered and do not create a strong sense of a place or a clear social focus. Topography also limits activation. The area is flat and low-lying, making it a flat plain. This helps ecological function but restricts permanent structures that could make the riverfront more active. Transport access is another issue. No bus routes enter the park, and the main shared path is on the north bank, with little connection to the south bank. The nearest train station is across the river at Walla Creek, requiring an extra crossing. This reduces natural everyday movement into the site. Space Syntax confirms this isolation. Bayview Avenue has low integration, and surrounding streets also show weak connectivity. The park sits in a movement dead zone, limiting cultural encounters. Amenities mapping shows a reliable sports area but almost no social facilities. On-site, there is little seating, no shelter, and no passive surveillance. Fields function well for sports, but there is no supporting social infrastructure to encourage people to stay. In terms of urban green, the surrounding houses are single detached villas with fenced boundaries and inward-facing layouts, creating closed edges. Newer mid-rise apartments also fail to face the park, so the neighborhood and the open space sit next to each other but do not interact. Activity types in this site include necessary activities like commuting, go to school, and shopping, and optional activities like kayaking, walking, sitting, cycling, and hiking. but the social activities like chatting and game watching are almost absent. The area supports Greenway public life, movement-based and sports-focused, but lacks the informal social life common in lively urban streets. Frontage analysis also shows interactive edges across all street types. There are no cafes, no shops, or active edges to support social life. To conclude, this precinct does support public life, but a specific kind, linear, movement-driven, and sports-centered. What's missing are the accidental encounters that rely on active, engaging interfaces. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.